Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Exam Update series. My name is Pooja. Let us talk about the recent notification advertised by the UPSC with respect to Labour Enforcement Officer. Many of you must have heard about this post. Many of you must be preparing for this particular post and many of you must be not knowing about this post. So let us enlighten you with these many topics that we have covered over here. From what are the duties of the Labour Enforcement Officer, other facets, is it a gazetted post, is it having any sort of ministry attached to it? Apart from that, the salary, exam pattern, syllabus and the previous year paper will also be discussed along with the cutoff marks. So 42 posts have been advertised through the notification yesterday by the UPSC for Labour Enforcement Officer. Apart from that, we can also see that there is a breakdown of services for the post because it's just 42 posts. So for SCs, it is 3, for STs, it is 6, for EWS 4, OBCs 6, and unreserved, that is 23, and for persons with benchmark disabilities, it is 2. Now, this post will be of Labour Enforcement Officer under the Office of Chief Labour Commissioner, and that is central in nature. Apart from that, Ministry of Labour and Employment is the ministry that is concerned with this post. The duties are myriad. From inspection of establishment, when you get into this post, you will inspect the establishment, various establishments. Apart from that, you have to see that labour laws are getting enforced over there. Promotion of labour welfare, because that is your job. That is the job of the enforcement officer, that the welfare of the labourers are promoted in central sphere undertaking. Okay. Prosecution of cases of defaulters. If defaulters are going to rise, then you have to take care of them with respect to prosecution, and you also will have to be getting this job of doing conciliation if industrial disputes will occur. So you will reconcile that. Verification of trade union membership will be done and acquaintances with trade union movement. So you will work with trade unions as well. Special inquiries on labour matters. So it's a very, you can't say that it is a desk job. It is not a desk job. You might need to run from here to there because, of course, whenever labour enforcement agencies are concerned, this is going to happen. So the post is permanent in nature and it's a general central level group B post. It is a gazetted post, okay? And it is non-ministerial in nature. That means you will not be reporting to any sort of ministry. Your office won't be attached to the ministry. Now let's talk about the eligibility. Eligibility criteria based on nationality. If you are a citizen of India and a subject of Nepal or a subject of Bhutan or a Tibetan refugee, if you are a Tibetan refugee but you have the intention of permanently settling into India after the cutoff date, if you have come 1st January 1962 with the intention of permanently settling in India, then you are, of course, along with the age eligibility criteria, you are eligible. Then a person of Indian origin, the key word here is Indian origin, who has migrated from Pakistan, Burma, Sri Lanka, East African country of Kenya, Zambia, Uganda, Tanzania, as well as Malawi is there, Ethiopia and Vietnam, but you have the intention of permanently settling in India, then of course you are also eligible. For this particular category, please do look at the notification carefully. Moving ahead, if we talk about the age eligibility, 30 years is the maximum. Minimum age eligibility has not been given in the notification. And how to calculate age, you can see through this particular important notice that I have taken from the notification itself. Closing date. Whenever you are going to calculate your age, the closing date for calculation is this closing date for submission of online recruitment application, ORA, that you will fill with the help of UPSC website. So, as on 29/9/2022, this is the last date of your submission of application. You should be 30 years before that, up to 30 years. You cannot be 31. Alright, so this is the closing date. This is the closing date and this is the closing hours, 23:59 hours. That means midnight. Once it becomes 00:00:30:09, then it will close down. So calculate your age according to the last date of submission of the application through ORA. Okay. Moving ahead, let us talk about relaxation. For SC, STs, the age is relaxable up to 5 years. 3 years for OBC candidates. For government servants, it's 5 years. For ex-servicemen and commissioned officers, including ECOs and SSCOs, again by 5 years. There are certain conditionalities with respect to the amount of service you have given to the army. That is also there. Do read about it. Persons with benchmark disability, age relaxation is 10 years. Alright. Moving ahead, let us talk about another important facet, that is eligibility of education area. What is the eligibility there? Degree in any discipline with commerce or economics, or try to make sure that you possess these qualifications before you fill the ORA. I will tell you why. Degree in any discipline with commerce or economics or sociology or social work as one of the subjects from a recognized university or institute. Also, diploma is needed in law or labor relation or labor welfare or labor laws or industrial relation or sociology or commerce or social work or welfare business administration or personal management from a recognized university or institute. So, first you will need to have a discipline, degree in any discipline with commerce or economics or this, and in addition to that, you will need to have a diploma in law or labor relation or labor welfare or labor laws or industrial, like this. So, addition with degree in discipline with diploma you have to have. So, this is the essential qualification, but there is also one desirable thing, that those are the basic ones. Desirable is something that a candidate who is having both the qualifications, if the person has this in addition, that person becomes desirable or preferable over the other candidates who do not have this. But it does not provide you any sort of guarantee that you will be shortlisted for interview. 1 year experience is desirable in labor law or labor welfare or labor relation or personal management in an industrial organization or a government establishment. This is desirable. Okay, if you have a good amount of, you can say, experience with respect to this, then you might get shortlisted for the interview. Okay, why am I saying interview? I will tell you that. Salary, pay scale, level 7 in the pay matrix as per the 7th pay commission, and this is the range of 44,900 to 1,42,400. Once you get selected, you will have a probation according to the rules, that is of 2 years. Probation is of 2 years. Okay, and then you can be posted anywhere according to the needs. Exam pattern, lot of confusion is there. Let me clear it out. So, because there are many posts that have been attached up along with this notification of other UPSC, you can say posts as well. So, what happened, that there has been a proper, you can say, pattern given for the examination with respect to written examination will be done or not. Because there is a lot of rumor that it will be conducted only on an interview basis. Only, the word here is only. Don't blow away into that rumors. Okay. Now look at this. This is from the notification. In the event of number of application being large, that means if less number of applications have been received, then it's fine. But if there is a large number of application, given the population of the country and unemployment, of course, the rigor for government services, you just put your mind how it's going to happen. Commission will adopt shortlisting criteria to restrict the number of candidates to be called for interview to a reasonable number by any or more than the following methods. Now, let me clear out the confusion here. There is no mandate, and I repeat, there is no mandate that written or recruitment test, alright? There will be a recruitment test which will check your theory. It's not given in the sheet as per a standard. Like exam pattern has not been given over there. Okay, because the thing is, you might get called for the interview if the number of application is small and the UPSC has got its desirable number of candidates. They are satisfied with the number of desirable candidates, that yes, we are sure that calling them in the interview is enough. But if the amount of candidates who are very good, who have the proper amount of qualification to qualify for this examination and it's large, then a recruitment test can be done. So be prepared for the examination, written examination as well. That is computer based. Okay, that's a computer based test for labor enforcement officers. Okay, so again, read again. The number of candidates to be called for interview directly to a reasonable number by any or more of the following methods. So, interview is not guaranteed. As the same one, recruitment test is not guaranteed. You will know how. Methods that can be employed by the UPSC on the basis of desirable qualification, or any one or all of the desirable qualification if more than one DQ is prescribed. Desirable qualification is prescribed. Candidate A is here, B is here, and C is here. Candidate A, B, and C all have the basic educational qualification, that means degree in commerce or economics or social work and like that, plus diploma they have, all three. But C candidate also have desirability of getting proper amount of experience in the labor department, in the industrial department. So it might happen that this person might be chosen if the number of A, B, E, F, G who just have the basic information to be there. Okay, so this is one thing. Secondly, on the basis of higher educational qualification than the minimum prescribed in the advertisement, again, here comes the desirability, the preference. On the basis of the higher experience in relevant fields than the minimum prescribed in the advertisement, by counting experience before or after the acquisition of essential qualification, by invoking experience even in cases where there is no experience mentioned as essential or desirable. So if it is not mentioned in the ORA, if it is not mentioned in the, you can say, notification, that desirable qualification is this or essential qualification is that. But apart from that, if there is a candidate who has a very attractive experience in industrial or such field, any field apart from the labor enforcement, but here I will talk about labor enforcement. So in the industrial relations as well, if the person has a great experience, that person might be preferred to be called for the interview. Okay. And last we have by holding a recruitment test. That means it can be a computer based test for labor enforcement officer. Alright, I hope it is clear now. Again, see one more important thing. Candidates shortlisted for interview. That means through ORA. When you will fill the UPSC ORA, here it is like this. This is the UPSC ORA, online recruitment application. When you will fill this, as I told you, many things have been added along the notifications, many posts have come. Labor Enforcement Officer is there, Scientist B, Geology B, Geophysics, Chemistry, then Junior Scientific Officer, Scientist B. So all these have the same procedure. So you can see Labor Enforcement Officer Central, when you will go and apply, this is also how to apply. Apply now. The same information that I'm telling you is written over here. So information is authentic. Don't get confused. Alright. So candidate shortlisted for interview on the basis of the information provided in the online application, ORA, submitted by them will be required to send self-attested copies of documents, relevant certificate in support of the claims made in the application. So my shortlisting for the interview at first will be done on the basis of the information that I am giving in the ORA. Not any sort of recruitment test. It is not written in the notification. But a recruitment test will be conducted on a computer-based level only if the amount of desirable candidates is large. Alright. And last examination was done on 25th November 2011 for the same post. Okay. So candidates will be shortlisted for interview only on the basis of the information provided by them. Again, it is time and again written that direct interview can be done only on the information given in the ORA. Okay, but documents for the support of such claims that you are making in the ORA, you have to send. Okay, then this I hope I have made it clear. But remember, just being shortlisted for the interview will not ensure you that you are through. It's written in the notification that if you're called for the interview, that does not mean that you have got the job. Alright, that is, of course, I think it's understandable. Moving ahead. Here, if the recruitment test happens, what happens? The category-wise minimum level of suitability, the category-wise, that means SC, ST, OBC, EWS, minimum level of suitability in interviews, irrespective of whether selection is made only by interview, if the selection is made only by interview or by recruitment test followed by interview, that means written followed by interview, will be for unreserved category and EWS, it's 50 marks. Suitability of the candidates will be depending on this. It won't matter if you have been shortlisted through interview or a recruitment test followed by interview. OBC, it is 45 marks. SC, ST, PWBD 40 marks. That will be out of the total marks of the interview being 100. That means here out of interview, you have to ensure your suitability according to the benchmark given here. Alright. So again, in case where the selection is made by recruitment test followed by an interview, the candidate will have to achieve minimum level of suitability in this respective category in interview stage. So recruitment test, whatever you have written, whatever you have gotten the marks, that is fine. But here you will have to ensure that you will get through this threshold, then only your suitability will be there according to the marks given in the interview. Interview is 100 marks, is of 100 marks. Moving ahead. Now let's look at the exam pattern if recruitment test occurs. So given the population, be ready for the recruitment test. Why not be ready? It is known as general ability test and it is a computer based test. Okay. It will be of 2 hours duration, carrying a minimum of 300 marks and all the questions will carry equal marks. Okay. The test will be objective type and mind you, it is actually of 300 marks and interview will be of 100 marks where you will have to qualify the minimum threshold. The medium of the test will be English as well as Hindi. There will be penalty for wrong answers and the penalty will be 1/3 of the marks. Okay. Now let us move on and look at our syllabus. Syllabus will be largely from the labor welfare and social security. So labor welfare, social work and social security laws, industrial relation, HR development, principles of natural justice, trade union act, trade union movement. And in the labor laws, we have Industrial Disputes Act of 1947, Payment of Wages Act 1936, Minimum Wages Act of 1948, Contract Labor Act of 1970, Child Labor Act of 1986, Payment of Gratuity Act 1972, Building and Other Construction Work Act, Workers Act 1996. Current events is also there, Constitution and the general mental ability, the logical reasoning and all. Okay, moving ahead. Let us look at the cutoff marks for 2017 paper which was conducted in 2017. The number of candidates appeared in the recruitment test 2255. For the total number of candidates appeared category wise, you can see how much appeared for general, for OBC, SC, ST and then total we have. Number of candidates finally selected in different categories, general 13, OBC 11, SC 8 and ST 1. Total is 33 only. 33 posts were there for 2017. Then minimum level of suitability marks in the recruitment test. Now here is suitability marks in the recruitment test which was written in computer based in nature, the MCQs. So for unreserved categories it was 160 and as I already told you threshold for interview was 50. Okay. 142 for OBC and 45 for interview. Then for STs in written, ST in written 128.50, threshold for interview is 40 and for STs 133 and UC 40. So final selection was done on this number of marks. Okay, remember that. Apart from that, highest marks obtained by candidates in different categories, you can see that. Total marks of written examination were 300. Okay, and then total marks of interview were 100 as I already told you. And the weightage was given 75:25. Okay, 75:25, 75% out of 400, 75%, 300 and then 100 remaining. Now let us look at our paper that was held on in of course 2017 on 25th November. So consider the following commissions or committees. First, National Commission on Labour, Labour Investigation Committee, Royal Commission on Labour, National Commission for Enterprises and in the organized sectors. So we have to choose which one of the following is correct. Chronology of the above in ascending order in terms of their submission of report. Of course, the syllabus is different from UPSC Civil Services examination here. Then family planning became an integral part of labor welfare as per the International Labour Organization resolution passed in the year The options are given over here. Then these kind of questions you will encounter. Which one among the following is the earliest labor law in India? Contract Labor Act, Trade Unions Act, Employees Compensation Act, Factories Act. Then which one of the following theories of labor welfare is also called efficiency theory? Functional, public relations, religious, philanthropic. Again, we see all these are of course from labor. Then certain other questions you might encounter from the logical reasoning and maths part. So I'm just skipping over for this to be more robust in nature. Which of the following forms part of the principle concerning fundamental rights as per ILO's constitution? 4 statements are given and 4 options are given. You have to select the correct one. 120 questions are there. Alright, 120. Then more and more you see from labor area only, of course, because this is Labour Enforcement Officer. Right to collective bargaining between employees and workers in India. Constitutional right, voluntary under labor law, obligatory under labor law, fundamental right. So this is related to constitution as well. Then which among the following was the earliest school of organization theories? Human relations school, system school, behavioral science school, contingency school. Moving ahead. Just look through, okay? It's available on the UPSC website. If you will look for the archives question paper of Labour Enforcement Officer, this is the 2017 Labour Enforcement Officer paper, TBT, okay, computer-based test, recruitment test. Then, this is highly factual, right? What is the maximum aggregate fine provided in the Trade Unions Act of 1926 for continuous failure by a trade union to submit returns under the Act? 50, 100, 150, 200. Trade unions, because in the duties only you saw that you have to work with the trade unions as well. Then let us see more what kind of other questions we can encounter here. Again, very factual in nature. So if you're good with facts, you can go for this examination if you have fulfilled the criteria. Ensure that whatever criteria you are giving in this examination, if you are sure, then only fill it. Alright. Then, because what happens if you will fill this criteria, fill this form and your criteria does not match the pre-programmed software, your application will get rejected. Okay, moving ahead. So whatever I have sourced over here, the entire information is from UPSC's website, so you do not have to be worried about if it's correct or not incorrect. Everything we do, it's from the UPSC website only, whenever the notification comes, okay? Again, lots of labor questions with respect to labor laws, trade unions. I'm searching for the better questions, in the sense, the other sort of questions. If we can see, again, labor laws. Labor officer should know labor laws. Yes, here you can see this is such a different type of question. There are 10 persons employed in a shop and therefore the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972 becomes applicable to the shop. Information has been given. After some time, 3 employees resign from the services of shop. Resultantly, which one of the following is the correct legal position on the applicability or otherwise of the said act? Industrial dispute, because your duty will be to resolve industrial dispute as well and ensure that enforcement of labor laws is happening in such establishments. Again, it's the 80th question. Payment Gratuity Act has been asked a lot in this examination. So Payment Gratuity Act, be careful with that. Okay, moving ahead. This is just a sifting through of questions that I'm doing over here, so that you can understand. Now the term WannaCry is associated with computer hardware, musical band, cyber attack, new epidemic in Africa. This belongs to current affairs. Okay. 9th BRICS summit was held in which of the following cities? Current affairs. Besides India, which of the following countries are member of the Mekong-Ganga Cooperation? Current affairs, static current affairs as well. No India program, this was also an EPFO Enforcement Officer, mind you, which I covered. Then what else we can see over here? Which one of the following is the highest civilian award in Afghanistan? Afghanistan, of course, is still in the news. We can expect some sort of questions like this. Which one of the following is the official position of the Miss Aung San Suu Kyi? So this belongs to, of course, current affairs. National population register has been asked. Socio-economic census has been asked. Paul Bate was awarded the Man Booker Prize for which of the following works? Static as well as current affairs, both can be said over here. Now here, under which of the following grounds the Constitution of India authorizes the legislature to make provisions for preventive detention? Belongs to Constitution and, of course, fundamental rights polity. Moving ahead, Money Bill contains provision for which of the following matters? Constitution. Then again Constitution. Many questions from Constitution as well. 5 to 6 we have encountered. Then we all must see other sort of questions as well. We're sifting through. Election Commission has been asked. Constitution, because you have to. Now here, general mental ability. Consider the following series: 11:20, 11:40, 12:20, question mark, 14:40, 16:20. And I just told you that penalty marks going to be there, 1/3. In a certain language, college is coded as DNNJHDI. How will foreign be coded in the same language? Logical reasoning. So I hope you understood how the questions will be asked. Maths is also there. Syllogism, all the pens are paper, all the papers are boats, some birds are papers. Syllogism is also asked. Maths question is over here. No, it's not maths, it's basically logical reasoning. Moving ahead, logical reasoning as well as maths can also be there. So these are the kind of questions. 120 questions are there. 120 question of 300 in totality, the written paper of this, and then 100 will be the interview marks if. I hope everything is clear to you. So thank you so much for watching. Constantly we will ensure that we make you updated about such notifications. Okay, thank you so much for watching.